Chinese embassy to the Philippines says 72 of 77 Chinese nationals detained in the country have been released. The Chinese nationals were detained on Wednesday afternoon as the Philippine immigration authorities stormed two shopping malls in Manila's Chinatown. The Chinese embassy immediately lodged representations to the Philippine side and urged them to properly handle the issue. Philippine authorities then transferred detainees to a better residence and released 53 Chinese nationals on the following day. More people were released on Friday, leaving 5 still waiting for the results of an investigation. The Chinese embassy says it will continue to follow the development and provide proper protection and services to its people. For more on that, let's talk to our correspondent Barnaby Low in Manila. Hello, Barnaby. Why are the Philippine authorities still holding the last 5 Chinese nationals?
Well, Pandeng, like you said, all but 5 of the 77 Chinese nationals who were detained earlier have been released. Now, these 5 detainees have not been able to produce proper travel and legal documents. Now, the others have been able to produce all that, and so they're now in the clear. These 5 detainees will now be transferred or have been transferred to a detention facility of the Immigration Bureau in suburban Manila, and they will stay there for the duration of the weekend. On Monday, they will be represented by lawyers provided by the Chinese Embassy and the Federation of Filipino-Chinese Chamber of Commerce. And these lawyers will represent them in negotiating with the Immigration Bureau until they're able to produce these valid documents. They will be detained there, but the understanding is that they will may be able to soon produce these documents, and that they will also be released together with all the other previous detainees. Now, having said that, though, not all those who were released have been completely cleared by the Immigration Bureau. A number of them were actually given a deadline by December 31st. They will have to leave the Philippines because they stayed here for more than 2 years. In fact, some of them have stayed here for about 10 years using just their tourist visas. And so they have been given this deadline to leave the Philippines. And then,
Well, Barnaby, this is a very high-profile inspection. So how is the local Chinese community responding to this move?
Well, Pandeng, this news did not actually come as a shock to the local Chinese community. It's sort of an open secret here in Manila that there has been a number of Chinese nationals who have been staying in the Philippines, staying in Manila, and doing business in these malls in Manila's Chinatown illegally for some time now. But it's been quiet on that front. No one has actually been talking about that. So the news did not really come as a shock. Having said that, the Filipino-Chinese Chamber of Commerce and Industry, as I said, has been helping from the beginning to make sure that these Chinese nationals are protected, that they're being treated fairly and justly and humanely, and this is together with the Chinese Embassy here in Manila. In fact, after they were detained at the Immigration Bureau, they were transferred to the building of the Filipino-Chinese Chamber of Commerce and Industry to give them a more comfortable space so that they'd be treated more humanely over this matter.
Thank you very much indeed.